Remember earlier today when they had a really tough game?
Yeah.
It was against the Knicks.
Knicks.
And the Knicks,
RTK Knicks.
whoa,
Yeah, that's true.
the Knicks really destroyed them that game.
And the Brewmaster as
There
well.
we go. They banned the Brewmaster this time around.
Mm.
They're like, oh, they didn't do it last time. They might do it this time.
Druid.
Yep.
All right. Well, of course, the signature heroes from Team Liquid, the Wisp and the Coddle.
Liquid is a team where they're gonna like, oh, if something is not broken, we don't
This
mind
time they
using
take
it.
the slaughter. Yeah.
We don't mind using it again and again.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say this time I don't think they're gonna give the slaughter and the lone druid. So yeah, they do take the slaughter and they take the dazzle for themselves too. So minus armor and also obviously weave for yourself versus lone druids. Quite
Very
strong.
conventional.
Dazzle
Yeah.
is very good support right now. I think he fits in a lot of lineups. Very good in general, zoning the off lane.
Yeah.
Very good as a position 5.
Oh, now you messed up.
Oh.
Now you messed up.
Why?
You gave
Miracle Invoker.
Miracle Invoker.
It's banned out against him in second phase.
Okay.
So often.
Wings is gonna have a conventional draft and they're gonna win in a conventional way.
This is what you said
sound very
earlier.
comfortable.
I don't know. There's still 3 picks. They might do something crazy.
Oh, okay. Here comes Mr. Flip Flop.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah,
Fine,
yeah.
they're gonna do something normal this time. I feel
Okay,
it.
okay. There's the confidence winter. That's what I'm looking for here. More bans coming out, but this is what I've been waiting for. Letting someone get Miracle the Invoker.
I'm not a fan of opening Invoker so early though, because he does fare really badly against certain matchups. Like a TA, OD, like a lot of heroes can actually put a lot of pressure onto Invoker in the laning phase. But to them, they don't really, I guess they don't really care. They just want to get the hero because Wings have already shown that they're gonna ban Invoker in the second phase.
Yep.
So if Liquid wants to pick the hero, they have to pick it in the first phase.
Yep, very true.
They're removing the sniper, so there's only going to be Lone Druid, the only sniper in the game. And sniper does beat Invoker a lot in the lane. And because StarLadder potentially is going to be the 4-row support, you're roaming around, running around. Sniper with the slow from the shrapnel is very good for setting up for the StarLadder to run in and crush. Dangerous lane for Invoker.
But Lone Druid is a hero that you want to get into his face and kill him, right? StarLadder is a hero that could do that if you give him enough farm to get a blink dagger.
He's not going to do that. I mean,
Exactly.
he's going to stun and set up for someone else to do that.
Well, yes.
He's not going to
So which hero is the best one that he can set things up for?
Huh.
We've been talking a lot about Weaver.
Lifestealer, I don't know. I like Lifestealer.
Okay.
Lifestealer, Weaver, those heroes. Very good with the corrosive haze.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot. The Infest Bomb coming out from the StarLadder, as you said. A great follow-up to that stun initiation, but not sure, though. Well, we'll see. You know what? Owen was really talking up the axe today. He was saying, Dazzle, StarLadder, pick an axe.
Oh, Axe is also very good with Dazzle, like on the same team, because you can have a very strong lane. So they're removing all the Invoker matchups, the matchups that Invoker would struggle.
They could definitely go. I think OD's pretty good. They even ban out the Batrider for like the anti-turn rate, which is obnoxious. But it doesn't benefit from the slaughter and the dazzle is the problem, which I'm seeing. Which I think then they might want something that is like a physical-oriented pick. But
10 seconds remaining.
Maybe, but still really open-ended though. There's so many things you can pick. And a lot of the offlaners I know in the current meta, they prefer to play Centaur.
yeah,
Centaur is like, he's very all-rounded. He does.
and he's good for like the long versus the sniper. It's just the gap closer.
Yeah.
And
And
it
he's
enables
good late
your
game too.
yeah, and enables your slaughter. So like if you don't have your blink dagger too early on, you at least have Stampede.
Well, they're sure taking their time here. I guess the boys are discussing their big strat.
Because they open with potentially 2 supports. Right now you have to decide the course.
Right.
You're gonna take a longer time, and it's very understandable that they're trying to figure out what type of strats they want to, and they're judging by the bans what their enemy is worried about. Sometimes the bans would give you an idea of what the enemy wants to do.
So
makes a lot of
what do
sense.
these bands make you think, Win?
Liquid's bans are mostly protecting the Invoker, like I said. The 2 heroes that they remove are heroes that can cause a lot of problems for an Exort Invoker in the lane. And because StarLadder's roaming, those 2 heroes can pair up well with StarLadder to kill Invoker. That's what I'm getting here.
Yeah.
If you do want to pick up an OD here, would you pick it up in these 2, or would you save it for last? Never mind, you go for Storm
they go
instead.
for Storm
Gap
instead.
closer. That's why it took such a long time. Because Liquid hasn't showed any of their supports. If you're picking Storm, that is very ballsy picking
That's
Storm
very
right now.
yeah.
Because you don't know what supports they're gonna pick. They can just pick like Lion and just own you. Like Storm is really weak against Lion. Disruptor is you're worried about that hero too.
So what would make them pick
5
Storm if it's that
seconds
risky to do? What would
Because
make them pick
I
Storm
think
this
I could
early?
only think of the reason where they want to keep the other two
Reserve
heroes
time.
important heroes a secret. Even though I sometimes think the mid hero is the most important. But
He's the gap closer
and
for
the
Lone Druid.
enemy already shown their mid hero, so
Yeah.
you know what matchup your Storm is gonna get.
Yeah, but as you said, there's still so many counters that Liquid can draft against that
Yeah.
Storm.
I think they already decided that they want a gap closer that can kill
Yeah,
the Lone Druid
exactly.
Storm. And you already see the Invoker, so you know your matchup. So they feel pretty okay, despite having the risk of, oh, they might pick
Wings
Lion or
Gaming's
Disruptor
turn
or
to
something to
pick.
counter my
Or
Storm.
Rubik.
Okay, they pick Rubik, so instant disable at least for that. But
Hey!
Hey!
There it is!
Liquid's
Hey.
turn to
We've
pick.
been waiting for this.
We
Gosh.
were expecting this one.
Lycan Dazzle plus StarLadder. But there's still a lot of like the Lycan counters, the Axe, the Timber. Oh my god, there's still so many heroes inside.
Yeah, I would have to say that Axe is looking better and better this game.
10
You got a
Yeah.
Dazzle, you got a Lycan, that's some lockdowns, great against Storm. In
GG Dazzle and Lycan.
5
And you already have a lot of high
seconds
ground defense with
Yeah, Axe
Invoker,
is
just
very
with
good.
one hero.
Yep, yep. So definitely be
Well,
looking at that for that
Gosh.
on Team
Reserve
Liquid.
time.
Axe is actually so good.
Uh-huh.
Depending on how they want to run their draft, Axe or Timber could destroy the lane. But if you look at their 3 costs, they would I think they would prefer to have someone that can initiate, like Axe, because Lone Druid and Invoker are cores that are going to take a lot of farm. They're not heroes that want to start the fight first. So if you pick a Timber, then all your 3 costs are like very farm heavy.
I'd prefer, yeah, them to have a
Axe
pure
is
initiator and way to break through the grave.
Axe is probably the best pick here
Yeah.
for their off lane.
Right.
Well, hey,
Next level mind game. Axe seems like such an obvious pick for this one. You got the Dazzle, you got the Lycan
yeah.
helping out, you got the Storm. Great against him as well. So, this is something that Wings is trying to bait out from Liquid because their last pick is
Oh,
gonna wreck.
10
But
seconds.
Axe.
I would say Dazzle is pretty good against Axe in the laning phase.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Grave
It goes-
gets countered,
5
but the heal
seconds
bomb is very
remaining.
good against the Axe
Yep.
in the laning phase.
Ooh,
Whoa, hello.
Gosh.
that's been a
Wings
while.
Gaming's
Whoa.
turn to
That's a
ban.
bird.
No, it's
yeah,
a
it's a
Phoenix.
bird.
It's Phoenix, it's not actually a bird.
What?
It's
So
a Phoenix.
a rising bird, the firebird.
I don't think it's a bird, is it?
You don't
It's
think
not a-
that's a bird? It just came on and went.
10
Ah!
seconds
It's like an egg,
remaining.
but
Gosh.
dragons have eggs, but it's not a dragon.
What
What's
the
the-
hell?
I think a phoenix is a species on its own.
What's the idea behind
It's,
it?
it's like an
Turn
ancient
to
being.
ban.
Okay,
Yes,
Winter
like
wants to talk about real stuff. Go ahead, Winter.
It's like
What's
a
the
unicorn, it's not a
idea?
horse. Sorry.
GG.
What just happened? Where did we just
Winter,
go?
go!
I'm
Winter, go! Just-
I'm thinking about why they would want the Phoenix here. I mean, Phoenix is good with Lone Druid back in the day when
10
you send the bear
seconds
up,
remaining.
his
Yeah.
pet, and then you heal the pet.
It's
Um,
easy to gank mid.
I mean, the
5
idea. I think
seconds
the idea here is like because the enemy is gonna run in with StarLadder. The way they're gonna kill you, they're gonna run in with StarLadder and
Liquid's
Storm and
turn to
Lycan with
pick.
ulti. So you wanna have heroes that would protect an area. So sort of like a Monkey King, but Monkey King ulti. But this is the supernova. So you basically set up an area so they can't just run in and kill your laundry. I don't know. That's how I understand this pick here for
Okay.
Liquid.
10 seconds remaining.
Certainly interesting.
I'm not sure what 100% why.
Especially because they didn't pick up.
What?
Whoa,
Team
that's
fight.
really unlike
Wings
Liquid.
Gaming's
That's
turn
very
to
unlike
Okay, I
Liquid.
I can see clearly the idea here right now. They are
Okay.
using 2 big AoE heroes
Yeah.
to protect their cores against the face rushers, the StarLadder, the Storm, and the Lycan.
Yeah.
So basically, they want to push as 5 because you don't want to split up against a Storm and a
10
StarLadder. They're going to catch you and
seconds
kill you.
remaining.
So you group up, you have 2 big AoEs, you're going to siege, you're going to hit their towers, and they
5
can't dive
seconds
into you because
remaining.
you have the Egg and the Ravage.
But Winter, where's the catch for Lycan?
Yeah, and
They don't have the catch
Reserve
Lycan if they are
time.
going to push already as 5.
but they don't really have it much
Yeah.
attached for the
5
Storm either, though. They like don't really have that much crazy
Yeah,
lockdown.
they've got
could
no
let-
lockdown.
Very different ideas, like
Yeah.
2 teams right now. One is looking to split.
Oh,
Oh.
vision game right there.
Yep, and we've seen that kind of
Silence.
picked up against the
Wow.
Phoenix as well. I mean,
Yeah.
a huge silence that really wrecks that.
I don't know. I think Liquid's draft is more solid this time.
Really?
I think they're
Really?
going to put a lot of pressure on the safe lane from Wings, though.
That's not a conventional draft.
Yeah, I
So-
mean,
From
teams got
Wings?
inverted, I guess.
It's Rubik Phoenix as the 2 duo supports. They're pretty weak early on,
Yeah,
right? And
pretty
Night
weak at the
Stalker's
start.
pretty beefy. If they do
Sunray.
like some Dazzle, Night Stalker dual
I don't
lane,
know. I
put
think
some
Liquid
pressure,
got
but-
this.
I
What
would
are you
also,
talking?
yeah, I'm
No way. The whole meta, every analyst tells me it's all about the old high cooldown heroes are out, Tidehunters out.
I
There's
like
no
the
way
idea.
Liquid's
I like
got
the
it.
idea of this game.
That's a very romantic idea, but I like Dota and Victory. Wings got this easy. What are you guys
10
talking
seconds.
about?
I'm not sure if I
remaining.
want to side with you because we're going up against our 2 analysts here.
5 seconds
But I-
remaining.
Noobs unite! Here we go.
I'm
I
going
can't
Liquid.
fist bump. We were too far away.
Too far away for a fist bump, but
We got it.
Let's see who has the victory and if we are going to see game 3 or not. That is the question. It is over to Lyrical and Godz.
Prepare for battle.
Thank you very much. Always interesting to see a panel divided. And
Team Shiva and Slacks or Team Fogdom Winter?
let's just stick with us. We'll stay over here on this
We're on
side.
the same team.
Exactly. But
we don't have to compete.
We're gonna hop into game number 2 now. It's Liquid facing off against Wings, and you know there's a whole heck of a lot of things going on in this match. And the actually Matumba Man picking up his lone druid is not going to be able to play the Lycan. Wings decide to pick it up. Tell me a little bit about this hero and what you think about him. Oh, and I guess also
the Lycan, yeah. Yeah, I was like thinking of weird heroes. My first one that stood out was the Night Stalker. But yeah, Lycan recently added to Captain's Mode, had a ridiculous win rate when he was first added with the reworked HAL before it got nerfed, at least in pubs that is. It gives bonus HP, at least temporarily, similar to like what a Klink's Death Pack kind of does. And it's very good for these 5-man Deathball push strats. So we'll see if that's going to be the general idea and approach. And for the Radiant side, the Night Stalker pick, very, very good with 5-man push strat. So the idea is here, Lycan has tons of summons. Those summons all get bonus HP from the HAL.
Yeah,
and it's at nighttime. So the nighttime they get double HAL. So basically you're going to make it night as often as possible, and that's where this Night Stalker comes into play.
Wow, a little bit of an engagement going on. They do manage to pop the shrine, though, and that's going to mean that Wings get turned upon. Can they find this kill? Very low. They do manage to pick it up, and that's going to be why going down. Mind Control picked it.
Okay. Good start. Good first blood.
Yeah, very interesting. So the sort of hunter and the knight is going to have some companions, is what you're telling me in this one.
Yeah, these are heroes that can use the nighttime well. At least the Lycan can. With Liquid's lack of vision at nighttime, it could create good gank opportunities for Storm Spirit for StarLadder as well, although that means Wings need to have good observer vision or get a fast Ag Scepter, but I think Night Stalker is definitely an underrated hero right now.
Yeah. The other thing that I always feel like is sometimes a bit of a problem is that you run into situations with Night Stalker where you rush that Aghanim Scepter, and then you end up not really being able to do much about people running at your base. Like, you can see them coming at you really well, but they push high ground. There's not really a whole lot that you can do at that stage.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we'll see how Liquid can use some of these ultimates. Mind Control going to be going on here. And with the level 1 Gush, he's not really able to do a whole lot.
Wow.
This bot lane can be very rough for him. He can't go jungle early on without Inca Smash or Kraken. So securing the first blood comes at a cost for the offlane Tide, and GH is down here just to help him out, it looks like, on the Rubik, making sure he can try to get level 2, level 3, or whatever it may be.
Yeah, and you can see already the CS, it's going fairly well into Liquid's favor, with the exception of Tidehunter's having a bit of a tough time at this stage. So the big things that we're keeping an eye out for in this game, it's long cooldown ultis from Liquid, but also heavy pressure, maybe even seeing Miracle try and go back for, we might have a kill down here bottom again, actually. Mind Control, well, he was able to get up to that level 2 and is going to be able to walk away from this one. The help from Kuroki as well as the GH Rubik comes in, and that's going to dissuade Wings from going any further.
Level 2 and a Phoenix dive with that bit of extra slow saves his life. Dazzle with this very aggressive level 1 Blightstone. That is sick with all the physical damage you're doing. You've got Hal amping up the physical damage, Blightstone to increase it as well. Does give them a very potent trial lane down here. The Poison Touch also physical damage, so, and the Crash. I mean, it's physical all over, so they're looking to take advantage of that. And there's some very clear synergy with this Wings trial lane.
Yeah, ooh, the pullback. GH wants to go on him. Ice in trouble, not able to hit the crush, and a great, well-played gank there comes through. It was right on the edge of being able to pull him back in.
Yeah, that was really, really nice. Pulling him into that little like tucked away corner where he had to walk an extra ways around as well. So this does make the lanes look pretty good. The 1v1 up top should be going well for the Lone Druid, as the CS indicates, although Night Stalker also getting some good CS with the 4-man shield.
Oh, and again, bottom Mind Control just ends up going down. Yeah, that level 1 in Gush is really hurting him at this point.
Yeah, it's one of those things where even now that he's level 3 and has 1-1-1, it still hurts him. You'd much rather have like 0-2-1 or 0-1-2. You don't want any points in Gush at this stage of the game, in the laning stage. Obviously, getting a first blood was theoretically worth it for him, and he did get the kill for that first blood, so it was a boost in his gold, but he is going down and consecutively down bottom because of it.
And you look here on the other side, Night Stalker already up to level 4 for himself, has the poor man's shield as well as boots, and 500, almost 600 gold there as well. Is it still just for the Night Stalker you go for something like an Urn to get aggressive early, or do you like the idea of trying to save up? We've seen sometimes a Midas picked up for the Night Stalker.
Urn into Ag seems fine. I think the core Night Stalker going Midas is not. I mean, I think Night Stalker in general going Midas isn't that necessary because you just want to get that fast Ags timing. And with the aggressive wings playstyle, I don't think they want to wait for a slower Ags by going Midas. What the Midas does is it guarantees a bit more levels, guarantees a bit more itemization post Ags, but it does slow down the Ags initially.
Night Stalker now 3 points in Void. This could be a really good rotation if he wants to make something happen, but looks like he just wants to try and at least stay up top and dominate the laning stage for at least a little while.
Yeah, tough lane for him now with the entangles kicking in. That's a double entangle in a row. He doesn't hit the... Oh, does he hit the dive? Yeah, I think he just barely clipped him with the dive.
Wow, backing out and away, still burning from this one. The Orb of Venom as well, dealing some damage, but they are not going to be able to find the kill on that Night Stalker.
They have got a shrine so they can immediately pop that. No smoke available if they wanted to swing mid or something, so they are limited in their options following this, and it looks like heading back to that top lane is the plan. I would have thought maybe Faith Beyond picks up an early TP to try and rotate it this night, but that would leave this top lane vacant, which is not something you want to do against a lone druid of all heroes. He will punish and take the tower, but here comes the TP mid.
Oh yeah, trying to turn it back around with the Sunstrike. It's not going to be enough though. Miracle just going to go down. Too much damage with the heal bomb coming in from Y and everything else. Man, Storm actually dropped really low from that one as well. Blink needs to be careful.
Yeah, but I mean, all in all three cores on the Liquid side CSing. Now that the Tide's been left in a 1v1, he matches up very well against Lycan. Can get in close. He's got his levels now, so has 2 in Kraken and Anchor Smash. A bit harder to deal with. Shadow can't really easily CS and against the Tide because of this, so he's probably going to be kind of asking for help soon, but at the same time, ganks aren't going to be quite as effective because the extra points in Anchor Smash and Kraken give this Tide a little bit of elusiveness. So the supports can get a lot more elsewhere. They want to pair up with the Night Stalker ideally. He's the strong hero with a lot of kill and gank potential right now.
Yeah, and they decide to go for at least a moment, but going to be able to find the Phoenix again. Kuroki trying to dive out and away is going to be able to make his escape. Now the Sunstrike with the Entangle. They are going to be able to find that kill. They take the Bear in exchange, but it hurts losing your StarLadder right there.
Entangle procs from Matu. This guy is a lone druid player. Would make Admiral Bulldog proud with all these entangles. The instant entangle there, the double entangle earlier on the Night Stalker.
Oh, and Y again brought down to the low ground here. There's a lot of damage coming out from Mind Control, but you do have the Sunstrike. Oh, nice good decision to dodge that. Yeah.
That was heads up.
Well, they could potentially make something happen here with Mind Control, but yeah, with Lycan not committing fully to that one, they back out. Still about a minute and a half left for this nighttime. Do you see them being able to get a whole heck of a lot else done with the Night Stalker?
Yeah, a minute and a half isn't long, but it's long enough, and already finds an Invis rune.
Oh.
Looks like it was just barely scouted by the Dire Ward, so before he went fully Invis, that Ward did scout him at going Invis, and Invoker should be well aware, but he's also going to StarLadder right on top of him. Miracle is going to be a bit careful here. And Faith Beyond even going for the full loop around. This could actually catch Miracle by surprise.
Oh. Miracle's playing it safe, though. All the orbs up on Quas as well, making sure that he'll have that regen if they do decide to go on him.
Haven't used his scan or anything in this mid lane. Curious to see if Faith Beyond lingers around, but it looks like he's going to swoop all the way through to bottom lane. Try and catch some of these other heroes by surprise. But Tide has 10 stick charges, has Ravage, Anchor Smash. Not the easiest kill, although if they want to commit a lot of resources for it, they should be able to get it with a Shapeshift as well.
Yeah, they're just not wanting to go for it yet. They're I guess, a little bit more comfortable waiting for this to go slightly later and not wanting to overcommit and then end up feeding away some kills as well.
I mean, their timing definitely comes later on. Like, you get the Lycan with levels, the Vlads. The second nighttime, they're a bit stronger. But now they're definitely not at, like, any kind of a peak. Yeah. Even though Night Stalker has ganking potential, and he's trying to highlight that in this mid lane, but not really able to do so.
I mean, it's about to be daytime again, and you do have the rotation in from Kuroki as well as GH. But it does look like Wings is going to back out. You know, one thing that we might end up seeing later as well is just have like Night Stalker pop the silence onto Tidehunter, and everybody else just avoids them and starts hitting down the others. That could be a good way to deal with the Tide.
Definitely effective use of the crippling fear. There's a lot of good silence targets in the Phoenix as well, though, so not easy to necessarily decide who you want to fear up. Even using it on Matu for the mischance can be a decent option as well. That 50% miss on a lone druid, not a hero that is necessarily going to want to go into an MKB early on, although perhaps could see the BKB.
There's the lift back, mind control, they pop Ravage, Sunstrike as well, the follow is going to be able to bring him down, but the Grave, last second, well played by Y, going to take some DOT from this one, and is taking a good bit of damage in the Fountain, but he's going to survive.
Fountain regen, able to out-heal the Fire Spirit DPS, so keeps himself alive. Great defensive play there coming out from Y, keeping the important core Night Stalker alive. He's very high level at this point, so losing him would be somewhat costly.
Yeah. Ravage down now, so these big ultis, you don't end up getting stuff out of them. Could end up coming back to haunt you.
It is daytime though, so it's one of those things like Ravage is down, so unless they want to commit a darkness for a smoke gank, they're not necessarily going to get a whole lot, but they've got a smoke on Night Stalker, so this suggests they definitely want to commit a darkness, a shapeshift, a kill on someone like Miracles Invoker would definitely justify using those ultimates, so will we see them head towards mid? Perhaps they're thinking top lane. They actually see Matu with the Corrosive Haze, but he's pretty far back.
Now they're going for it now, chasing down. They're going to pop the darkness on top of him. A heck of a lot of damage, but they aren't going to be able to run him down as of yet. The chase is going to continue here. He's already salved up, though. Good play by Matu there.
That was fantastic.
Mind control comes into it. He's going to pop the shrine. There's still a lot of damage, but they can't quite bring him down. So Matumba Man able to dodge the gank, cold snap down. Shadow may be in some trouble. The right click still coming through. Tornado, not enough range. And oh, he actually hides out in the corner and is going to be brought down. A very odd engagement now. StarLadder can't go for the crutch. That's going to be the Blink Storm Spirit chasing him down as well. Looks for mind control and should be able to run him down. So a kind of awkward movement by Shadow off to where the Sunstrike was catching him in there, but
yeah, he bought enough time being chased down that everyone else could rotate, and they knew they could dive into that because neither ultimate is up. There's no Tide Ravage, it's on cooldown, and Phoenix is level 4, so they throw everything to kill that Lycan. It kind of ended up working out quite alright for Wings because they catch them overcommitting. Lone Druid probably chasing with the Entangle is fine, but he didn't want to cross the river with his hero. They probably had the kill without him crossing that deep, but definitely one of those moments of just like overconfidence. You know you're going to get the Lycan kill. What you don't think about is the consequence for committing as far as they did, and that's a Storm, a StarLadder, great catching and punishing heroes. They're going to chase you down and make sure they get those revenge kills.
Well, here comes the TP. Mind control just going to sway the push from happening any further, and meantime, Miracle can keep on farming. You know, something the panel touched on earlier is there's not any great, like, strong lockdown for these heroes. The Storm Spirit in particular as the game goes on. Is that something that you need to be worried about if you don't get a lot done with Liquid early?
It definitely can be a big concern. You've just got Lift and Ravage, Cold Snap. I mean, I'm saying a few. I mean, Savage Roar can also be okay, but realistically, there's not like reliable initiation or disable. They don't have that Axe type offlaner. They don't have a Lion. So the better Link does, and right now he's doing pretty well in this mid lane, the scarier this game can get.
A lot of heroes in the area right now. Stealing away the Corrosive Haze for GH. That's one that can definitely help out this team a ton, keeping not only just the amp damage that's there onto the Lone Druid, but also the vision so he can maintain those right clicks from far away. Oh, top lane, they're on top of Y. They pop the Ravage, but Grave's already been used. He should be at least able to walk away for the moment. Yeah, I get the kill though with GH, and it looks like with that Shadow is just going to run out of here.
Yeah, he's Corrosive Haze, so he doesn't want to stick around knowing that the enemy can see him if he loses that shapeshift movement speed. But a Ravage for a Dazzle, again, we could see the retaliation from Wings come if they want to go for it. They will have the shapeshift on cooldown, but they've got good aggressive potential from Night Stalker. It is just hit nighttime. They've got Storm who could potentially heal up and trying to make some plays happen, so it does like a moment of strength for Wings.
Well, Matumba Man is coming back in here, starting to hit onto Ice. There's several heroes in the area. The Claws are going to control him. They pull him back in. Savage Roar is going to be used, so Storm Spirit may be able to go for a counter initiation play. They take down the bear, but that's all they're going to be able to go for now.
Yeah.
Sunstrike? Oh, no, not going to hit.
Blind guess as to where Storm went. Storm actually went back to farm. If he'd waited a bit longer, he may have seen Blink's new position, and Blink is gonna, looks like, just get this last wave of creeps before he TPs himself back home. He's got 2k gold, so really good farm on Storm Spirit now after some of those bear kills. And Stolen Haze, that was from the Rubik, which is a nice little pickup.
Definitely. Oh,
TP in.
Kuro, he's in some trouble right now. They've got Void. They just need to maintain vision onto him. Kuro trying to get out. Oh, this is a really nice play. He actually goes off the map. So a little bit of ability abuse. You love to see that.
I mean, that's game mechanics, you know? Dota
Working
2.
as intended.
Yeah, working as intended. You know, I always struggle, like, he puts some stuff in the game like that, and there's just nothing you can do about it. You think, all right, Phoenix is dead, and he commits a supernova to try and save himself. We kill the egg. Like, how's he escape? No, there's always a way.
Bottom tower is under
That
attack.
is some sneaky stuff. Well played by Kuro.
Radiant
Yeah.
structures are
Really well
fortified.
played. And bottom lane, it opens up the space for Matumba Man to keep the pressure on there.
Radiant's
We
bottom
do have a
tower
smoke
is
gank
under
that's moving
attack.
out now from Wings, and they would love to be able to pick something up here.
Radiant's
There's this
bottom tower
flurry
is
of net
defended.
worth that's all being held by Liquid towards the top of that net worth chart, and
Yeah, Matu's in deep here. He's
Dire's middle
being swarmed
tower
upon.
is
He's going to need a
under
really good Savage Draw.
there's the jump in immediately, pulling him back in. The long range pull, they are going to be able to connect. Sunstrike, maybe going to be able to find that kill. Good grave, and that's going to, at least for the moment, keep Faith Beyond alive.
Yeah, great grave. That's necessary. You got to know that with that entangled, the
Radiant's
Sunstrike
top
was coming
tower
in.
is under
Liquid's
attack.
communication coordination has really been on point. Anytime an entangles hit or there's been a disable, Sunstrikes have followed it up.
Ravage turn, they are able to take down Ice. It's going to be Shadow running away.
Radiant's middle
But again,
tower is
another
under
Ravage
attack.
used. That one still feels fairly worth it, but this is sort of a 4-position
Radiant's
StarLadder.
top tower
Oh, no,
has been
no
denied.
Sunstrike landing on anyone. But yeah, it's definitely not been like the first Ravage or two for a single
Radiant
kill is
structures are
typically all right
fortified.
because you're kind of at that point before
Dire's
big
bottom
fights are
tower
breaking up,
is
but we're
under
kind of
attack.
approaching. Feels like a stage where you want to use the Ravage for more. With a Blink Dagger as well, Mind Control can look to set up on bigger value targets. Heroes like the Storm, the Lycan,
Radiant's
even the
middle
Night
tower
Stalker
is
going
under
down would be
attack.
very big for them. He has gone for the Midas, so level 10 already. This Night Stalker is high level, decent farm, and going to be hitting pretty good item timings here. It does suggest they feel like their timing window is going to be more around the Necro books rather than the Vlads. Going for this Midas suggests they want to just wait longer before they go for their big push. So not just waiting for a Vlads, they'll be waiting for a Necro book, waiting for a few more levels, and the Ag Scepter on the Night Stalker. But when they hit like a Necro 3 Ag's timing on Night Stalker, you've got very close to permanent nighttime, a lot of boosted HP on all those summons, and very, very scary 5-man push coming from Wings.
Oh, poor GH. He's just going to be caught here for a second. Doesn't get this. Oh, wow. All right, Crush is on the mark, though, and Ice able to find it.
I think it was the reveal of the Blink, the first
Dire's
Blink
top
I've seen at least from
tower
Ice
is
Ice, and
under
that's a decent timing for a support StarLadder. And an item that Wings can look to play around. Perhaps why they felt more confident going for this Midas Night Stalker, because they knew they could rely on the StarLadder to be more of the tempo controller initiator. They felt he can be fighting.
Has been denied.
Nice little deny. Oh, nice to crush though.
Yeah, they're on top of him now. Tornado's going to come out, but the Remnant is going to be enough damage, possibly. Yeah, Matumba Man's going to fall. Well
Still
played by
silences
Blink, and
Kuro.
maybe going to be able to find more. They're trying to chase here, but it looks like they're going to back out.
Ooh, they had the haze on Kuro, which meant that, luckily for Miracle, he could invis himself out of there. If he was hazed up instead, there was a follow-up crush from
Dire's
StarLadder.
structures are fortified.
So 8-6, Wings striking back in a really good way here, and like we talked about again, they're taking advantage of the Ravage being down and making sure they get the most out of that whenever possible.
But Liquid, this tempo still works okay for them. And Miracle's Invoker definitely a player-hero combo that, I mean, will shine the more items he gets, the more levels he gets. So he's going straight into the typical Midas Axe build. So for now, I mean, up until now, it's been a quiet Invoker game outside of throwing Sunstrikes around the map. So he's on track for his item timings. He's being out-farmed by Storm, but that's
Dire's
largely
top
due to
tower
the
is
Storm's
under
involvement.
attack.
Blink is 4-0-1. He hasn't died. He's killed the Spirit Bear a couple times. So a lot of the net worth of the Storm is due to that, while Invoker is just like kind of slowly farming up the lane, the jungle, not going for hero kills quite as much.
And this feels to me to be one of those pivotal moments as well, where that Storm Spirit, who's built up this huge amount of net worth, could potentially end up getting punished really heavily if they find the kill. He just finished the Bloodstone. Likewise, you know, you get into a fight where Wings are able to pick up a couple kills, and he really takes off like a rocket.
Yeah, it still goes to that question of how do you kill the Storm with the limited lockdown. The blink first on the Tide
Dire's
suggests that they
middle
wanted to
tower
have a
is under
guaranteed
attack.
initiation. If you blink Ravage in like melee range to a Storm, you can't react to the ball lightning. So blink Ravage is a way to initiate on Storm, but then you need follow-up damage. So Sunstrike, Telekinesis into like some right clicks from Lone Druid, they can get the kill, but it does take a lot. Sunstrike was too early in the Roshan pit. He used it to scout. I don't think Wings even knew Sunstrike was used there. Perhaps they had vision of Invoker on the map and saw the Sunstrike go out, but Either way, fortunate timing for Wings as they'll secure an easy Roche.
This is so bold too, with Mind Control heading over there and having Ravage all of these big team fight spells. He jumps in, silence for the moment, they're avoiding him for the moment as well. He doesn't manage to get it off, finally can maybe go for it. He does hit the Ravage, connects onto 4. Not sure if it's gonna be enough though, as they are gonna be able to jump in. A good tornado meatball combo, deafening blast, Miracle tries to make it happen with the Grave and the Supernova. The counterplay now by Ice Ice is gonna be there. They managed to get another big stun off. That's Aegis already down now. Ice Ice also starting to drop low. All of the big teamfight ultimates have been used, and now it looks like they're going to try and take a little bit in return. They take down Matumba Men, and that's going to have to be it, at least for now. Sunstrike.
Sunstrike. Another kill. Miracle starting to come online.
This is scary, and yeah, they just need to silence and get out of there.
Great grave timing from Dazzle on the Lycan there, but again, Matu with the timely root. He is just being on point. Whenever he needs an entangle, it seems to be there. Stops the Grave TP out. Make sure they get the Lycan kill and punish on the Roche. Just great game sense from Liquid. Often you see like, okay, they scout the Roche, they're not there. And they went in 2 seconds after that Roche scout. Yeah, Mind Control was there at the perfect time to get into the pit. He got silenced. They did still finish off the Roshan, but with 5 heroes grouped up in a Ravage.
Oh, GH. He gets the stun as they're going in. They find the tornado. Is he going to go down? He almost falls. They find the kill. What a great combo of plays there. The Rubik hits the stun as they go in, and then they're managed to find the tornado on the backside.
That's a huge kill to get. That's Storm's Bloodstone charges. He does instantly respawn, but you don't get anything out of that insta respawn, and suddenly you're losing a good chunk of those Bloodstone. It's a kill going the way of Kuro, so Phoenix suddenly gets a big chunk of income as well. That's going to be money towards his Midas, so a faster Midas on Phoenix means a faster level 2 ultimate, potentially even faster level 3 ultimate, since you're looking at a perhaps longer game, and Phoenix being a key high ground defender.
And that's one of those moments where you would want things. Oh god, they pulled him back in again. StarLadder stuck up on the high ground, gonna be crushed, and we'll see if he's gonna get out of there. Looks to be in a hell of a lot of trouble trying to TP. No such luck. They find the kill. And this is the moment, again, with those ultis off cooldown where you would want to try and go for some type of pressure, but it's just not going to happen.
GH is just so good on these playmaking heroes. 2-1 and 8. He's been in 10 of these 11 kills. Just has such a good eye for initiation when it comes to finding those little pickoffs, making these small little plays, and getting full value out of every spell he steals. And has set his team up to perhaps, yeah, push down this mid lane. They want to go for this tier 2 tower at mid. They haven't quite got the levels on Matu yet. He's only level 14, so hasn't got that plus 55 damage. But they still feel strong enough with the Spirit Bear in the front lines. They roar it up, and they are setting up to teamfight around. They've got Egg, they've got Ravage. This is where Liquid are strong. These are the cooldowns where Liquid shine.
Yeah, and we could end up seeing Faith Beyond just walk into a whole mess of hurt if he does head over there. Kuroki is going to be the first one. They go for the initiation, the blink, Rabbit. No, the stun came out. All right, so Mind Control for the moment as well. They're silencing up for the moment as well. The Rubik, he's forced to back out in a way. Nobody dead as of yet, although several members of Liquid are very low. And Kuroki getting right-clicked, forced to pop the Supernova. They're able to jump in. They find the kill into GH. There's the Ravage counterplay, though. Is it going to be enough? They're able to find it. So much damage. Miracle goes in as well, dominating for him. Oh, lordy.
That Ravage wasn't going to be enough to save that Egg. That Egg was still going down.
Oh, and the Sunstrike. Miracle, the Magic Man, does it again.
That timing. They don't stack the roll with the Ravage. They Ravage, as the Ravage stuns out to her, they're going to finish that Egg off. Savage Roar comes in, saves the Egg, stuns 3 heroes, sets up the entire Invoker combo, and suddenly, snap of the finger, Liquid on the high ground. They're taking a melee Rax game. This is looking all out of control, completely slipped away from Wings when this game was going just fine for them up until this point. One team fight.
You think about how good Wings were looking in that last series, and Liquid just have all the answers in the world. He's going to go out there and crush Kuroki. Oh, maybe going to be able to find some more. They get the pull as he passes through, and well, Kuro is going to die there. Maybe going to be able to find a bit more, but
small consolation prize. They want more. They're TPing into the shrine. Ice Ice is fishing for a secondary kill, but Blink's still on cooldown, and may actually find something in Mind Control. Not an easy kill by any means.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit scary. You do have the rest of Liquid starting to show up. They toss a zoning EMP, and that should be enough to get Mind Control out of there. But this is that moment, though. You've got this tri-core that's so incredibly strong, and The right clicks coming in from a Tumble Man, all of the damage that you've got from the Invoker as well. The silence is going to be there, as well as the mischance.
They're defending without their ulti.
Oh, good lift. They're not going to find the crush there from the StarLadder. Have to back out again.
Another Savage Roar.
Scary moment right now. Grave as well, keeping Faithion alive, trying to make sure that he's able to escape. And no Ravage for 40 more seconds, but still, Liquid able to take this one. There's the egg. It forces the rest of them back. Wings, you need to get out of here. Not a safe place in the least bit, and they lose 2 more with only one of those ultis committed.
I mean, even without that egg, it felt like they were winning that fight. They were just so good at holding the front line. The Tide has just reached this point where he's incredibly tanky, is really good at front line. With all the levels on Invoker, that Tide front lines, you just chuck an EMP near him, you throw a Tornado, and you got this great lineup for protecting him. And boy, are Liquid strong right now. They still have the Ravage in 5 seconds. They can keep pressing forward if they want to. They don't necessarily need to. They may be eyeing off like a Roche respawn before they try and end this game. Aghanim Scepter coming on Kuro. He's going to have a great saving tool for his teammates now.
Oh my god.
Not to mention the I'd say more importantly in some ways, the extra attacks to kill the egg, which is going to be damn near impossible, or at least equally important.
And you've got force stats again. We saw how important those were in the last game. Having that up on GH at this point, all of these positioning tools, it feels like right now Liquid have so many different ways to outplay Wings. It's not necessarily even just the fact that they are outplaying them, but I don't even know how Wings try and come back into this one at this point.
The Solar Crest pickup from Tide. He's like, I'm not really tanky enough. Let's get a bit more. So this Lycan's going to have to deal with the evasion. He can't just stick his summons and his hero onto the Tide and expect to hit him. He may even find the Solar Crest applied to himself, so he can't right-click people down. But this is where Wings are meant to be strong. You get this Necro 3 on Lycan. Ideally, this is when they're meant to have the Ags on Nightstalker. And this is why at the start I said I don't really like the idea of the Midas on Nightstalker because it slows down your Ags timing. And this is where you're like, we just lost a line of racks. We haven't even finished our Ags. They weren't able to pick and choose good fights. Vision is how you beat the Tide Ravage, the Phoenix Egg. You have to have vision of these big team fighting heroes to be able to silence them or take advantage of their positioning. And because of the Midas, this Ags has come a lot slower, and only now does he complete it 25 minutes in, and I think it's being punished for the fact he went for this Midas first.
Well, that being said, you know, it is now online, so maybe this is the point where they're also able to find a bit of a turnaround. It's going to need to come off the back of a perfect team fight, but for you, how does that perfect team fight look for Wings right now? What do they need to do here?
They've got the Orchid on Storm, so that's a key tool as well, because he can jump to the back lines, find probably the Phoenix is the biggest hero for him to kill. The Tide's going to have Kraken, so you can't really go on him. Taking the Phoenix out, so there's no Sunray, there's no Supernova, there's no Supernova save once there's an Ag Scepter, is going to be the best thing he can do. For the rest of the team, it's going to come down to like surviving through that Tide Ravage, Dazzle hitting like a timely grave on a teammate, making sure that Matu gets dealt with as well. I think he's probably one of the bigger damage dealers, but just not grouping for the AoE combo. The Ravage, definitely Blast, Chaos Meteor. Oh, that's unintentionally? Was he trying to heal up a teammate? Or
I'm not sure. I heard the sound, but I didn't get to see it.
I'm guessing it was unintentional, but
yeah.
He just picked up the Ag, so that's interesting. He may have just been trying to reset a teammate, heal him up, but not sure.
Maybe that's the way you get back into the game. Just have them use their ultis off in the woods.
Yeah. No. Either way, not the worst cooldown to have to play around.
Yeah.
And back up in 70 seconds.
Blink is split pushing here along the top lane as well. Is going to be forced back out and away, but this is a problem. You don't have a great way to control this now. You do have some mobility items there for GH, but you kind of need everybody to be able to collapse in on that storm to make sure you find the kill, unless you can just disable him forever.
Yeah, they will have to address him sooner or later, but that's where Liquid able to 5-man around these big teamfight spells don't really care if Storm can't be controlled, because they also don't die to the Storm Spirit is the big thing. So being able to protect the Phoenix is going to be their perhaps biggest challenge, whether they do that through the Rubik, getting like a nice Blink lift, perhaps even like someone like a Lone Druid using the Savage Roar on the Storm Spirit. These are the kind of things that need to happen to keep Phoenix alive, because I think that's the perhaps weak point in Liquid's 5-man right now, is that Kuro is very vulnerable to that Storm, Ball, Lightning, Orchid.
So Roshan soon to spawn. We do see that Liquid placing down those wards. They're going to have good vision in and around the Roche pit. But it's also a question of if they can actually just walk in there and do it. And it looks like the call is maybe find a pickoff first.
Yeah. Storm not the easiest. They get the lift though, and that would make it easy.
That's just not fair.
That's
take him down.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, that one really hurts.
Yeah. All it takes is making sure you get that good initiation off, and GH always right place, right time, finds the kill, and that will be a free Roche. With Aegis and Cheese, you've got to wonder, can Wings hold out with the rest of their racks? They're split pushing down bottom with Ice Ice, but that's a StarLadder. That's not a hero you've got to be worried about, so... We'll probably... Oh, why? He'll TP himself out barely. But yeah, here comes the 5-man push straight down this top lane.
Yeah, and this is sort of what the panel was thinking was going to eventually happen, what they've been able to build to this entire game.
Okay. He was getting his Spirit Bear for a second there. Not sure that was intended.
Uh-oh.
Nah, TP it home, heal it up, bring it back in. They're going to be using the Spirit Bear to siege, maybe even putting Alacrity on it as well as the Solar Crest, since Matu's standing much further back. But for now, Bear healing up, Mind Control's like, I can frontline, let me do some damage.
They just don't have any way to stop them. They're just going to literally right-click the tower to death.
Question is if Shadow wants to fully commit to the Rat. If you summon your Necrobook 3 to go for the bottom lane, you've got to get the Rat straight. Otherwise, you save the Necro 3 for the jump. He's going for the Rat.
Tornado play, they're going to be able to pull back in onto one. A lot of damage. Grave does come out at the end, so they're going to be able to keep that Storm Spirit alive. A lot of mana, and does back out. In a way, a lot of damage being dealt by that DOT.
Getting vault though.
They're going to be able to make this happen. They pull him back in again, and Shadow
out of mana.
Needs to get out of there. So it does look like they're at least going to be able to take down the tier 3 tower, maybe a bit more as they're continuing the chase. Shrine comes out as well, but they can't find the racks.
Yeah, good Shrine usage to make sure you could heal up that mana pool. Yeah, they can't find the racks and they lose the racks, so that was good sieging from Liquid, making sure that they take the top lane while defending.
Uh-oh.
That's a big 4-man DC. Mixed players and teammates. Oh, turns into a full 10-man DC. But
I'm sure everything's going to be fine. We had this talk as well in the last one.
Yeah,
but,
it's looking pretty close to done and dusted for Liquid. They're not quite there yet, but 2 lanes of racks. They still have the Aegis, I believe. Lone Druid yet still has the Aegis. They'll be coming back for another push with Skadi on Lone Druid now. Invokers throwing more items into the fray. Like, they're only going to get scary and scary. And they did all that without having to use ultimates. They didn't have to use a Ravage or a Supernova. Because of the way the split push went, it meant that Wings weren't trying to fight at top. They were just trying to cancel TPs and delay to create space for Lycan to trade Raxes. Problem was, Lycan got dealt with. The Rubik TP back with the Phoenix meant that Lycan did not take the bottom lane, and we find ourselves in a very, very bleak position for Team Wings. I'm not sure there's any amazing plays they can make at this point. They don't have a scary team fight. That's the problem. This Lycan Night Stalker was kind of meant to maybe like 5-man push if they were ahead, but if they're behind, they can't team fight their way back in. They can only really split push.
And it felt like it was all about those mid-game fights that Liquid were just able to dominate that put them in this position as well. Really impressive stuff to watch. But now, back into the game, just under about 30 minutes into this one, and that Aegis, I guess the call is just go bottom next?
Yeah, why not? You want to force Wings to fight into your Ravage plus Supernova. That's like the best way to approach this game, I feel.
Well, they take down the bear.
They've still got a full 3 minutes of Aegis time left. Matu will have to resummon, but by the time you get to that bottom lane, you'll almost have another bear anyways, 90 seconds away on that cooldown, so not the biggest deal in the world, and there's just not a scary enough split push threat in this top lane. And you can't trade racks for mega creeps. You can't say, oh, right, we'll take top racks but give up bottom. That works before. If you're not giving up mega creeps, you can trade racks. That's why Lycan's play at bottom made total sense, but at this point, you're not going to go for that exchange. Your lineup does not defend mega creeps. Lycan is not a hero that can really fight mega creeps with a Necrobook. Storm Spirit, same thing. He's not going to be able to push out those lanes well at all. So you've got to come back defend. That's the only real way to take this game if you're Wings. You're going to have to probably go through multiple buybacks. They've got buyback on Night Stalker, on Storm. They're going to pick up what BKBs they can. Shadow gets one on his Lycan, but very difficult hold coming for the Chinese squad.
Well, and we also just saw that pickup by the Phoenix. I was kind of wondering if he was going to go that way. He's fully in the mana pool, but can now go for the blink in and then immediately pull them into the egg. So, yeah, everything looking quite strong out for Liquid, and there's just no way to stop this. Like, they can jump in, immediately get the tornado thrown out, and the tier 3's already gone.
Mind Control's just unkillable. With Grief, Solar Crest, Plate Mail, he's got an absurd amount of armor.
All right, they're going for it. Now or nothing, do or die.
They're just like, let's back off. They use Shapeshift.
Oh my god, this is so depressing. They're going to be able to force staff it back and away. Storm Spirit. Well, actually, no, that's not Storm Spirit. That's GH because he stole the ulti, and now trying to turn this back around onto them is, well...
Oh, here comes a Blink Ravage potentially.
Oh, God.
Crippling Fear is still on for a little bit longer at least.
It's like watching a plane crash. You know what's going to happen. It really, really hurts. And Weave now down on top of him. Maybe this is the way back into it. They jump in on Matumbo Man. He's going to just keep hitting away at these racks.
It's Megas. I don't know what you do against Megas. You call
Yeah,
GG. That's
GG, they'll play. There's not even a battle.
Yeah, it's like it feels weird and anticlimactic to end it without trying to fight, but how do you fight? There's no way to fight into Ravage. They win the game without using Aerial Ravage. That's just how strong Liquid's 5-man was in the end and how powerful they are with an Aegis and Cheese in their hands.
Well, really, really impressive display from Liquid. We saw Wings come in and just do a great job of dealing with DC in the previous series. And they looked nigh untouchable. And now you come into this one, you're able to take them down 2-0. I mean, it feels as if OG is the only one that's kind of going to be left in this one. How are you feeling about this Team Liquid draft?
Very good. I mean, they find drafts that work for them and they stick to them. It's very much always been the Kuro style. If something's not broke, don't try and fix it. Wings, on the other hand, went just bizarre draft to bizarre draft in some ways. Sometimes they look like geniuses. That was the case against DC. Everyone's just like losing their mind, like, it's TI Wings, they're all back again. But then you have this series against Liquid and you're like, oh, this is more like post-TI Wings again. They're picking weird stuff but not looking too strong. So it's very hard to know which Wings is ever going to show up on any given day. This series against Liquid definitely left something to be desired from the team. But for Liquid, fantastic stuff. Very strong, stable drafting. Great cohesive play within the team. Great individual play. The 9K MMR team really playing well, and gotta say, a team deserving to be in that top 4.
Shout out right here as well. We got Mind Control coming in for the interview.